What up, everybody? Welcome to 40 Grit Guitars. It's me, it's Mike. What's up? Thursday night, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Thanks for staying up if you're here. If you're on the East Coast, thanks for being here. Figured I'd jump in tonight and haven't seen you guys in a minute, just kind of been working and stuff. So figured I'd jump in. Randy's always a good partner to have on here when I come on, so I invited him. So let me bring in Randall. This is what's this? Randy. I was thinking about something today. I'll just bring him on. I was thinking about something today. I was like, I wonder if everybody would get it if I said otherwise known as Joe the Policeman from the episode of That's My Mama, Mr. Randy Watson. But, I'm not sure if they would get it. So anyways, thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate it.
Man.
Yeah. We got sidetracked just sitting in the green room, just BSing. I said, we might as well just go live and see what's doing here. So, hey, there's a lot of knowledge here with Randy. So if you guys have any questions on guitar stuff, make sure that you hit us up. But first of all, let's see. What have I went out to California twice. Once to drop off the Friedman, the hot rod, to Dave Friedman, and so I'll go over all that. But the hot rod is back, and oh my god,
beast.
Yeah, oh my god, bro. I mean, like night and day from a hot rod 50 plus to, it was so funny because he took out a piece of masking tape and was writing down my phone number and stuff. He goes, okay, what do you want to do to it? And I go, I want to make it an SLO. And and written on it, I should have kept it. It was cool. It says SLO it. And he goes, all right, man, I'll give you a call. And then I got it home. I went back out to California. Oh my God. Hey, I should, I'll probably do a video on it, but anyways, it's super cool. So let's get into the chat and say hi to everybody, and then we'll start talking guitar stuff. Darren, what's up, dude? Darren, always faithful to OU812 and the team here. So congratulations for being here. Thanks for being here, bud. Yeah, Zach Thong, what's up, dude? How's it going? Thanks for being here. Chuck C, what up, man? How you doing? Ronnie Parker's in the chat. Ronnie, how's it going, bro?
What's going on, Ronnie?
Oh, Peggy Bushnard, what's up? Peggy Bouchard, what's up from Johnny Bean? How you doing?
What's up, Peggy?
Nice to see you. Ryan's here. Ryan, we sent you a link if you want to jump in. We're just going to sit here and talk about guitar stuff for a couple hours.
What we do.
Owlman. What's up, man? Owlman with 1365.
It's Christopher Live Sova.
KXM. All right, we say hello to KXM?
Hadn't yet.
There he is. What's up, dude?
Had to look that up. What's up, KXM?
What up? Let me see here. Let me grab somebody I haven't seen yet. Peggy, searching for tone. Well, hello there. How's it going? Oh, Jimmy Biter's in the chat. What's up, man?
Jimmy.
What up? Greasy Monkey Guitars. What's up?
Greasy.
Chuck C. Searching for Toad. Greasy. Dartboard. Zach Thong. Dartboard. KXM, Greasy Monkey. I think I've hit them all so far. Oh, no, Tim Thomas just jumped in. What's up, dude?
Yo,
thanks for being here. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you being here. So, yeah, it just seemed like my summer went really fast out here, man. I was like, I'm going to, oh, wow, look at that. Andy Carson.
Andy.
What's up, dude?
My man. And Stu Petty.
Stu Petty, what's up, man? How's it going? What's up?
Did you get Johnny Rasmussen?
Oh, no, where? Can you click on him? Oh, I see him.
There you go.
Johnny, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Oh, well. Hey, if you guys have any questions on anything, you can email me directly, 40gritguitars@gmail.com. Let's get this out of the way. And, if you're interested in hats and swag and stuff, my son built a 40gritguitars.com website, which I'll be putting guitars on eventually when I start selling stuff, which I think is going to be sooner than later. But instead of putting stuff on Reverb, we'll keep it in the community, and then you guys can go on there. And if you see anything of mine that you want to buy, we'll just do it in-house, and then if you're not happy with it, just send it back to me or whatever. I'm not going to do the whole rework thing. So anyways, thinking about that, trying to throw something together with that right now, but that's what I got doing. So let's see here, where was I at? Okay, so yeah, went out to California and did that. I think I talked about taking my boy out of Wolfgang, and then I was like, oh my god, that Wolfgang played so good. I've got a gold one in the closet, but I think I put an original Floyd on it and it started playing a lot better. I saw a thing the other day on Instagram. Guy was talking about guy said, I'm going to upgrade my Floyd on my Wolfgang to original Floyd. And somebody in the comments said, the original Floyd is not an upgrade to the PV Wolfgang bridge. And I'm pretty sure Ping built those. Ping?
Yeah, that was Ping.
Yeah, so I would think that original Floyd Rose would be an upgrade to that bridge.
I would say so.
Yeah, I don't know who typed that, and I wanted to comment, but these days, I'm not even like commenting on stuff just because people are so like they trip out on comments and stuff.
You're wrong.
It's not even worth commenting on stuff like that. But I would say that I'm pretty sure I put a original Floyd Rose on my gold one, and it played a lot better. And I think it just got lost in the closet. So, anyways, I came back and I picked up a red Wolfgang special. I sent you pictures of that, right?
Yeah.
And then I ended up picking up a white and black one too, like the standards. And then now it's just like all stop. I got what I need, with guitar stuff, but I got some stuff I need to do. But man, it's already 100 degrees out here already, man. Like our winter went super quick, and it's like it's already brutal. So it's just like, ugh. So anyways, that's why there's a lack of videos and lack of stuff, and working. I'm just working and stuff. But I got an email today from Sweetwater, from Robert Williams, talking about that new GL 200K.
Yep.
And he said they're first week of May. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first week of May, they're saying. So if you guys are watching those, I said, how many pre-orders do you have? Because here's the thing with doing the pre-orders, in my opinion, you don't get to see a picture of it.
Nope.
For string alignment, for all the things that I freak out about. I don't get to see weight. I don't get to see string alignment. I don't get to see anything. As they come in, they ship them. They don't even get a picture, I don't think. Right. Or maybe they do, but they don't go onto the website. You can look at it before you buy it. So I'm out on pre-ordering with Sweetwater. I want to see what I'm buying before I make a move on that. But then again, I got the real deal up there. So
right.
I don't know if you ended up texting me and saying, "Hey man, I'm going to do the upgrade on that," I would live vicariously through you on that.
I've been thinking about it, but they've got that they've brought the Maverick back, the ESP Maverick, and they've got the LTD version, which is the MV1000, and it's white, and we know I like white guitars.
Yeah, me too.
And they're neat. They kind of have an offset. If you've ever seen like a comparison Horus, like that kind of that offset longer horn and weird kind of body shape, but they're a 24 3/4 scale, 27 fret hum single setup. I think they come with a custom 5 in the bridge.
What's the scale?
24 3/4.
Okay. Oh wow, 27 fret.
And I think it's a custom 5 in the bridge, and I think a hot rail's in the neck. Floyd, the 1500 Floyd. Roasted maple neck, ebony board, stainless frets, that whole deal. And they're like $1,300 or $1,400, and that's kind of caught my eye too with ESP. Or you can pay $3,200 for the E2 version, but they don't come in white, so now I'm kind of torn.
What is it with white? How come we like white so much?
I don't know, man. Something about white and black. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Yo, R2's here. What's up, R2?
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah. Hey, dude, what's up? Thanks for being here, man. We're just hanging out. R2, if you want to jump in, just send him a link if he wants to jump in and hang out.
Dave Orkin, what's up?
So, oh, yeah. So the first thing you said was white and black. The Chub Tone. Chub Tone.
Yep.
Have you been seeing Chub Tone's like postings? I mean, like he's really wrapping it up.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be done. He was taking his last builds, what, in like October or something?
Yeah. And now people are asking, and he's commenting and saying that we're wrapping it up. So
Yeah.
I think I think he's legit. I think he really is. I think they're going to wrap it up at Chub Tone. So I'm glad that I got a couple of them. You know, I got a couple. So yeah, this is a nice guitar. Look at the bird's eye on the back of that thing, dude. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's killer.
I don't grab this one very often. It plays great. This one's tuned standard. You know how there's guitars that you tune standard and they play like they're down a half step?
Yep.
This is one of those guitars. So that's how you know this is how you know it's a good build. I forgot what pickup came in this, but it looks like I think it's a Tone Zone I put in there. It's got the gold plate. So that's a DiMarzio.
Yep.
I think I put a Tone Zone in that. So yeah, I mean, like that's kind of weird about Chub Tone. He's certainly not hurting for business if he's got people going, hey man, let's go. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
Right.
Dave, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. Randy and I are just sitting here BSing. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want to hang out, maybe I just send everybody a link. We guys get in here and hang out together. Greasy Monkeys. Lewis, what's up, dude? Welcome.
Hold on, Lewis.
Hello, Randy. Hello, 40. What's up, dude? How you doing? Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, we're just hanging. So yeah, I picked up those Wolfgangs. I should probably, you know what's funny? What else is funny about those Wolfgangs? Tearing those guitars apart and going through them. I pulled the neck on all of them because, as with every, there was a guy on a guitar on some meme the other day, and it was some guitar shop. The guy looked like Howard Stern. So if you know who that is, tell me who it is because he just popped up on my thing, and he said, "Hey, these Wolfgangs are problematic." And the reason why they're problematic is because the bridge, when you go to lower the action, the bridge is already sitting flush. So the bridge just keeps going further and further down, right? And eventually you bottom out and you have nowhere else to go, right? So you have to change the neck angle, which is the whole video that when I first started the channel, my big thing was neck angle because it was that's like a pet peeve of mine. And he said, so on these Wolfgangs, you have to route them. You don't have to route a Wolfgang. It's basswood, and it sands really easy, and it's really easy to sand a neck angle into that. And if you're concerned about it, don't ever take a router to a $4,000 guitar like that. I mean,
unless
there's no
you're
reason.
Jimmy Biter.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Jimmy's a skilled professional. But there's no reason to take a router. This is my opinion. To that, I mean, you can sand a neck angle in, or if you just want to be lazy, just go ahead and fold some 120 in half and stick it in there, and that's going to give you the same thing. It's not going to kill your tone or anything, because there's plenty of guitar companies that, I mean, look at the old Music Mans. They had plastic shims in them.
Yep.
The Van Halens, so they're not tone killers. It's just them tweaking the neck angle, which they should have done when they built the guitar. They should have been tweaking that neck angle, and they weren't doing that. So,
right.
But anyways, I thought it was funny. The guy said, well, just take a router to it. Don't take a router to your PV Wolfgang. There's no reason to, now, mahogany, maple, maybe even alder. Yeah. You may have to put a little bit of neck angle in that with a router, but, at the end of the day, I think I'd, on something hard like that, even me now, I'd probably just put a, folds of 120 and a half and call it a day, because at this point in time, all these guitars of mine, they're all just all investments now, pretty much. Right. I don't want to go hogging on something and, ruin it or something like that. So let's see what's, somebody really like saying anything. You guys got to engage, man. Let's go. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Engage. Stu Petty says neck shim from Stu Mac. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great alternative. You can do pockets. Those. Yeah, the full pockets, they come in different angles, and that's a great that's a great way, because you're really not losing any tone because it goes the whole pocket. So, if you're concerned about there being a gap there or something.
Oh, they're in the other room. I had some in my little drawers right here with guitar parts in, but they're in the other room. because that's what I ended up. That blue build I did. I've got a full pocket 0.75 degree shim in it because that neck set way too low in the pocket. So
I was going to ask you, how's that guitar doing? I mean, is it still one of your go-tos or?
no, I'm kind of I'm like at odds with that guitar.
Why?
Well, I got the playability on it sorted out. I'm not huge on the way it sounds. It's kind of one of those. I don't know. I think it may just be a dead body, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I ended up swapping the nut and the saddles the other day. I finally ordered some a 16-inch radius nut and some 16-inch radius saddles, and got the action down where I wanted it, which is about a millimeter or so, 1.25 on the low E, and probably about 0.8 on the high E, and got it playing good. So now it plays good, but it just still doesn't sound that great. It's really bright. It's kind of almost like Jimmy said. Did somebody say router? It's kind of like if you've got it's like the volume knob's not at 10. It's like the volume knob's roll back to like 7 or something.
Huh.
So, and I've changed I did that whole facelift on it where I got rid of that Tone Zone S and I put an AT1 full size humbucker in the bridge. And I don't know. I'm still kind of at odds with that guitar. I don't know. I may take the neck off of it and go take the body out back and shoot it or something. I don't know.
It's cool that it's cool to have guitars like that because I revisited my Henrik.
Yep.
Because I just was kind of wrestling with that one and I revisited it the other day and guess what I found out? I found out that I put black Floyd springs in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I swapped the springs out and it changed everything on the guitar. So that's why I tell you guys springs are so important. For like individual build. Like I changed the springs on that guitar and I took the blacks out and then I had another guitar that was acting weird and I go, I bet you there's black springs in it.
There's black springs in that blue guitar.
You should go some OFR or some gold ones. See if that changes anything.
There's black springs in that blue guitar. Most of these things have black. I don't have that problem with the red springs though.
No, because they're heavy duty. They're super heavy. The black ones aren't as strong. The black ones are nowhere near as strong. The FU tones are really not as strong as the original golds. And then the original Floyd Rose are less, there's less strength there than the gold original Floyd Rose. If you go to the red, that's the heavy duty. So yeah, that's why you don't wrestle with the reds are overkill for me. They're just way too tight. So
got some more folks jumping in here, man.
Yeah.
Get Brian Peterson up in here.
See.
Brian VH5150 BP. Brian Peterson.
What up, man? What up, Stu Petty? Stu Petty says next gen from Stu Beck. Yep, exactly. Wayne McConnell. Peggy, what's Peggy saying? Hello, Brian.
Papa Blue.
Many famous players had white guitars. Jimmy, Zach, Randy, Jeff, many more. Oh, yeah.
Ed. I mean.
Yeah, white guitars is, for me personally, white guitars is where it's at. Yes, we did say router, Jimmy.
And I don't know if you know that, Jimmy, but you're now a professional. You're a certified router professional.
Do you invert it or do you do it on top? That would be my question. Because for neck angle, I always like the inverted pin router because I would take a quarter and lay it on the table, and then that would give me my neck angle for the neck pocket. So just a question. Zach James would join, but he's having phone problems. He's trying to fix them and will join soon. Well, okie dokie. Peggy says, I love that maple neck and fretboard. Yeah, thanks, Peggy. Yeah, cool guitar. I mean, I haven't had this out in a minute. I need to play my guitars more often. At 40 grit, what's the deal with the black and white Schenker-esque pattern? So this is this popped up on Reverb one day, and I texted Randy. I said, hey, dude, look. And he goes, yeah, that's a cool guitar. And then I texted Chub Tone. And I said, what's the deal on this one? He goes, that's an early one. This is number 30. And he said, that's an early one, and that's called the Oreo cookie. So I said, well, if you remember the guitar, and he said, that's a good guitar. I said, well, if he remembers the guitar, and he remembered he called it the Oreo cookie, I guess I should buy it. And now that Chub Tone's leaving,
Right.
it's good to have a couple. I've got the one that Randy was in love with, sitting back there.
Oh, the vanilla shake.
Yeah, the vanilla shake, and then I got this one. So that's a story on this one. I mean, Shanker. I mean, I'm cool with Shanker, but I don't know if that's what he was going after on this one. What do you got? What's up?
Oh, this is my black and green laid out SoCal. I think it's a 2011 Japanese. Yeah, 2011. I've been playing this guitar here the last couple days. You know, man, I got however many of these guitars, and this thing, every time I pick this thing up, I forget how good it is. This thing, so, you know, my EVH, my Frankie relic that I have that's black and yellow, that I did the yellow pickups and stuff. That's my drop C guitar for those drop C jams we do. And that's the one I still haven't gotten around to sanding that nut shelf down so it'll play in tune up here. So today I restrung this one and set it up with 10 to 52s and drop C, and I think this is going to be the new permanent drop C guitar. This thing is loud.
Is it blocked or is it floating? Oh, you got it blocked. Okay.
It's blocked. That's I think that's a 37. Yeah, it's a 37 block, which I didn't realize it when I was like, oh, I'll just throw a 37 block in it. These came with a 40 millimeter block. So
that's weird because now they all come with 32s. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, the recess come with 32s.
Ridiculous, man. My God, man. It's like, what are you thinking, man?
But my my wild card 3 was the same way. You know, it's a USA. From that, you know, the same era. There's a 10, this is an 11. They all had 40 millimeter blocks on them. And the Floyd doesn't even sell a 40 millimeter brass block. F-U-Tone does, but Floyd doesn't. But yeah, I set this thing up in drop C today with 10 to 52s and was kind of jamming around with it earlier, man. This thing unplugged is just
loud.
It's super loud, and you can feel the body resonating with every chord. And
yep.
I mean, if you were to sit here and play it acoustic and just chug, you know, that open C, you can feel the whoop 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 whoop, you know, coming through the body.
That's cool when you're playing and you can feel it on your chest, on your belly. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, not every guitar does that. So
no, this thing, yeah, I've got 4 or 5 of these things, and as much as I love my wild card 3, that's my favorite one. This one's probably number 2, and this one probably sounds a little bit better than that guitar. And then my white 2011 San Dimas, the one that's over there, the one I did the double cream pickups and pickup rings on. That guitar is it's close to this one. It's got a little more high end in the sound than this one does. But this thing sounds massive.
What pickups are in it?
Tone Zone and Evolution, what they came with.
Evo, yeah.
Which I was actually talking to Jimmy. The Tone Zone, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but probably not. But you can kind of see how low I keep that.
Yeah.
That Tone Zone.
Mm-hmm.
I run those tone zones at least about 5 millimeter or so under the string when you're fretted at the 22nd. But it's still a little woofy in tune this low, so I'm actually going to order a Norton for the bridge. Jimmy's a big fan of the Norton for the drop tunings.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, put a Norton in it, put a Norton in it, put a Norton in it. So I'm going to order a black and green with black poles and screws, Norton from DiMarzio, probably tomorrow, and swap that Tone Zone out. So, but yeah, that guitar, that's one of those guitars that doesn't matter what you put in it, it just sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Those Tone Zone pickups are freaking awesome, man. I mean, that will forever be one of my faves. Yeah, the Tone Zone. Nothing worse than playing a dead body, Randy.
Yeah.
Nothing worse.
I've got a crap load of springs in my little cabinet thing over here. I may swap those springs out and see how it sounds with normal Floyd springs on it instead of the black ones.
Can I buy just a neck headstock for George Lynch to autograph by April 11th?
So come get this one from me, because it's not signed, and get it signed for me.
Yeah. I thought you were selling that. I go, there's no way he's selling that.
No way.
Too hard to come across another one.
I did do the chrome bar on it, like his Tiger. I took the black trim arm off and did the chrome.
I got chrome bars on all of mine. Oh no, my God. There's not on that Bengal. I just pulled that Bengal out the other day. That's the ESP. I had that 6 screw up there forever. That one that was actually his. And then I put that one away and got the actual the M1 out, and I put the black. I got to get a chrome bridge on that, or a chrome bar. I got to get a chrome bar on that. Yeah. I saw that the other night when you had it out. I was like, he's got the chrome bar on there. That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool.
That guitar's great, man.
Yeah, those what how many they do of those? Like under 100, they said?
I think around 100.
Yeah. That's a good one to have.
So nice. It's probably 9 pounds or so, because it's the maple body. And
one of these days. What's that?
I had Willie rewind that Screaming Demon hotter. So that Screaming Demon in there now reads 17.1K. It's like 17.19, so 17.2K. It's a lot hotter.
I went to go build one of those like you did with that, to make it look like a Screaming Demon, and I do, because there's no check mark for those black hex bolts.
You have to
put it in the notes, right?
Yeah.
I just say it just seems like a little more work than what I was like, but I did buy a Dockenbucker.
Nice. Are you the one that bought that from Diablo?
Yeah. As soon as I saw that you posted it, I go, I'm all over that, because I've heard I haven't wired it up yet, so I just kind of put it in the case. It's because I'm stupid like that. I just put it in the DiMarzio case so I can look at it.
Right.
And then I've got the 13 too, the 13 pickup. The Arcane,
which is the same as Mr. Scary.
Which is the same as Mr. Scary, but
that's a great sounding pickup.
I went to the NAMM show a couple years ago, and inside this Screaming Eagle or whatever that guitar is called, he had a 13 pickup in it. And I was like, I'm going to get one of those just to have it. And then come to find out it was the same pickups.
Yep, they're identical. And I'll give it to him. That Arcane Mr. Scary, that's what I put in my burnt Tiger.
Yeah.
And because they came with just a regular distortion.
Distortion, yeah.
So I took that thing out and put the Arcane in it. That's probably John Deshane's favorite guitar that I have, just purely on the way it sounds.
Has he played it?
He hasn't played it.
No, but just by hearing it?
Just by hearing it, he's like, that's the best sounding guitar you have.
Mm.
But he likes more low medium output pickups, and that guitar is just really full sounding, and you can play big chords on it, and all the notes come through.
So, that was you who commented on the Brown build, right?
Yeah.
Randy texted me the other day, goes, man, that Brown build of yours, but that's got the Mr. Scary pickup in it. That's got the Mr. Scary single coil too, which sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah, that Brown build,
vintage,
man. That thing punched me in the chest through my Bose earbuds.
Yeah. 100% inspired by watching the Walk Away video.
Right.
And then I had it all wrong. I thought that guitar was brown. It's a cow skin. It's a freaking cow skin on that body. And I was like, well, I was way off. But when somebody says it's a cow skin, you go back and watch it, then you can see it. But I never would have thought it would have been a cow skin on that guitar. So it's just weird. And you can tell that guitar plays like shit. If the block is sticking out of the back of the body, right? Like it's just a mess of a guitar. So I'm sure that guitar plays like shit. So whatever. Hey, Mr. Carson, check out Kevin. Tigers. Oh, they're talking baseball. Okay, Lewis says Oreo cookie. Yes, correct. That's an Oreo cookie guitar. Let's see here. What do you think, Stu Petty? What do you think about the new black and yellow EVH relic? See, this is what I've been waiting for. Thank you. Sorry, somebody started talking about something. Let's go. You go first, Randy.
So I don't care for it, except I'm waiting for the Stratosphere to get a hold of some so I can get the neck off one.
And that's going to happen.
It will go on my black and yellow EVH Frankie relic. So I'll have the black painted headstock with the yellow logo to match everything else.
That's cool.
As soon as I saw that guitar, I'm like, wonder when the Stratosphere is going to start parting them out.
And they will too. You will. What's my thought on it? I wouldn't spend that kind of money for that guitar. I saw that and I was like 100% cash grab. 100%. It doesn't really make any sense. If you're a Van Halen guy, you look at that guitar and you're like, I really don't understand. But then again, I'm Van Halen stupid like that. So I look at something and I go, I don't understand what they're going for. They're going for the cash grab. That's what they're doing.
Right.
So.
And that's kind of how I feel about it. And Caleb Rappaport, he's got one of the black Frankie relics. So he had it painted in the black and yellow paint scheme, but the stripe pattern is the same as the 1984 Kramer instead of the Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So
where's that guy at? I haven't seen that guy on anything. Is he just like laying low, or
I don't know.
Is he still in that band, that Nerd Halen? Is he still doing that? Or
as far as I know, he is.
Huh. Yeah, that guy just kind of disappeared. But I mean, he did lose his house and stuff. I mean, that's really sad. Okay, Lewis is off to visit his mom. Y'all have fun talking guitars. We will. Thank you. And Lewis, thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Seahawk 29. Do you guys replace the BR3 nut on the older Charvel USA MIJ Pro Knobs mods? I noticed the mounting holes are slightly off from a German R3 nut. Before I answer that, hold on a second. I wanted to go back to the MIJ. Out of all the good stuff on the MIJ, what is the number one thing on the MIJ that you identify and say, this is amazing? Let's see if we're on the same sheet of paper.
What, on these Japanese Charvels?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The neck?
What's the... Okay. Necks are great. For me personally, the fretwork on those guitars is crazy.
Yeah.
The fretwork on the MIJs is so good, and they put so much attention to detail into those. I mean, like versus the Mexico, the MIMs.
Yep. The edges of the fretboard on the MIJs from this era are way more rolled than like even the 08 to 10 USAs.
Yeah, any of the MIJ stuff just amazing. Do I replace the BR3s? So
yes.
Okay, Randy says yes. I look at them, I inspect them. If they're okay, I might leave them. If they're not okay, I had to change a nut on that white PV Wolfgang I bought. I thought that was interesting because I kept getting a sitar on the high E, and I kept going back and forth on it, and I popped the nut and I looked inside the slot, and it wasn't dug into it or anything. I just had a really bad sitar and I couldn't file it out, so I put a R2 on there and it fit like a glove. So yes, but hey, that's really not a big deal. I mean, if it's top mounted, it's not a big deal. I mean, like if they're all the way through, yes. I mean, like you're gonna have to ream it out a little bit, with a small file, but you can give yourself some slack, and usually there is some slack in there. But this is not a big deal.
I have questions with that because I've ran into that, but it was not with a German nut. It was one of these new, these new USA Floyd nuts.
Yeah, I remember that.
I bought one for my wild card because the B string was sitaring, and so I bought one of these new 3D printed USA Floyd nuts, and it would not mount up. The holes on the two mounting holes on this USA one are too close towards the fretboard, so you end up with a gap between the nut and the fretboard. So I ordered an R3 nut from Schaller, and it fit perfect. Mm-hmm. I've never had a German Schaller made R3 nut not fit one of these Japanese or older USA Charvels. Never. But I have with the new USA Floyd stuff. So that's what. Are you sure it wasn't one of the new USA ones? Because they haven't made them in Germany since 22.
I bought a bunch of shallers just being, I bought a bunch of shallers in black, R3s, R2s, black and chrome. I bought a bunch of them. And then I got my bill, my customs bill, which I texted you about. And so anyways, I'm stocked up pretty good, but yeah, I would probably stay away from the Floyd Rose nuts because the shallers are usually just a drop in. They fit really good. When the Floyds when they were starting to come out, they were all 10-inch radius. Remember that? When they started doing them here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's a 10-inch radius.
Okay, so when they were all 10-inch radiuses, I was dropping them in and they were taller. So I was having to sand the shelf down to get it to fit. So
Seahawk said it may have been one of the new ones. He bought it off Reverb last year or so. Did the back of it look like that?
that's the one you had the problem with, right?
Yep. You can see how high up the two mounting holes are. Where if you get a shallower one, the two mounting holes are almost in line with the 3 clamp block holes. But the fit and finish on these is shit. Like, they're not smooth. It's like they're polished on the outside, but the bottom of them and then inside in here, in this part, is like really rough. It almost looks like it's cast. But yeah, they're just, I don't know, man. They just, when I opened the thing up and looked at it, I'm like, well, that just kind of looks like trash. And then when I tried to mount it, and it wouldn't mount up. I was like, huh. So I ordered the one straight from Schaller and had 0 issue. And, fit and finish on it's perfect. So.
Yeah, I've had 0 problems with the Schaller stuff.
I've got a spare in the other room. I've got a brand new in the bag spare Schaller R3. So.
Good to have. Good to have extras. DiMarzio Dominion sounds great in my drop C guitars. Have you played that pickup? I have not.
I have. So that's the Mark Morton from Lamb of God signature pickup. And I'll tell you what it is. It's a Super 3 with a regular sized ceramic magnet instead of a double thick ceramic magnet. Well, Super 3 is it's like a super thick ceramic magnet, but the Dominion is a Super 3 with a regular thickness ceramic magnet. It's kind of like a Super 3 light.
I like my Super 3. I got a Super 3 in that Phil Collin that was Stainer.
That's about the only ceramic magnet pickup that I like.
You like, yeah. Yeah, I know you're not a ceramic fan. Peggy says, nice collection. Thanks, Peggy. This will be if I get my hands on that guitar. You'd only see it in the pictures, autographed. He would never bring it back, Randy.
Well, I'd have to go up to Michigan and reclaim it. Although I'm sure Sova could beat me down. So
yeah.
Sorry,
I was gonna wear my Ritz shirt tonight. I got a Ritz shirt for he knows what the Ritz is back in the day. So yeah, I was gonna wear it, but I love the brown build. Yeah, that's it. Hey man, I gotta get that guitar out. I went through a bunch of guitars the other day and it's in there. It's in a case, but I should probably get that one out. Metal Cop, what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Metal Cop? Good to see you, man.
Better late than never. Nice to see you, pal. Metal Cop came to my house.
That's another wealth of knowledge.
Oh yeah, Cop. For sure. Yeah. Hey, you know what I was thinking the other day? Somebody said one time we should all go to Vegas, dude. We should really do that. I mean, we should all just like meet up in Vegas or meet up at the NAMM show and just hang out for a couple of days. Say how much fun would that be? And then like everybody bring a guitar part.
Yeah.
And then we just all build it together. And then we can like auction it off on the show or something like that. We all build it together, just something stupid, I think that'd be really fun, man.
You'd have to, somebody's going to have to put up bail to get me and Jimmy out of jail because that'll probably happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Us in Vegas probably, that probably wouldn't go over too well. What's up? Welcome in, Darth Vader.
What's going on, man?
Welcome in. No, I wasn't no, it was not one of those nuts, Randy.
Huh. Well, that one right there is new. I bought that in like October of last year. It was brand new. So, but they didn't, if it was made, after like the beginning of 22, then it wasn't made in Germany. So maybe that's when whoever they had making them for them or whatever, maybe that's why the mounting holes are off on those. they got the wrong measurement or something. But yeah, I haven't had a problem with a shallow nut not fitting those guitars at all.
If it's a top mount, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can fix it. I mean, as long as the side to side is good, you can fix anything. But I mean, if it's not a top mount, you're in trouble. I mean, like, or you could be in trouble. So you're gonna have to do some reaming there. Hopefully not some plugging, just a little reaming. Andy Carson's got to take off. Have a great night, dude.
Later, Andy.
Be careful if you're working. Let's see here. Peggy said that'd be a cool thing to do. Dude, I think that'd be so much fun if we all went out and just hung out for a couple of days. That'd be fun. Richard Hole 1 says John will be needing the bail money, methinks. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Depends if he stays sober or not.
That's a long flight.
Well, the thing is, I don't think you'd be able to bail John out. They'd just deport him back to Canada.
Right. Yeah, they wouldn't even tolerate it. He would just go.
So what do you think? What do you think about the new 5150 series they released yesterday?
I'm not feeling it.
They look stupid without a painted headstock, and I like non-painted headstocks, but on that guitar, it needs a painted headstock.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. In all honesty, I was going through YouTube the other night, and Johnny Bean was on, and he found a black one, and I go, "What guitar is that?" And like he started showing it, and I go, "I've never even what is that?" And then the next morning, the George Ziff video posted.
Yep.
And I go, well, that makes sense but it's kind of weird that guitar got to Guitar Center before the George Ziff video, right? Yeah, because usually all that stuff gets done first, and then the stores get the stuff, right?
Well, Sweetwater already had them too, but I don't think Sweetwater put them live on their website until the video launched at like 10 a.m. or whatever Eastern time. So. But yeah, I don't like them. And when it comes to the transparent finishes, the Fender needs to quit recycling the same 3 or 4 finishes and do something new.
They need, it's
like I never want to see another chlorine burst ever again.
Here's the thing. And when I talked about the whole Mammoth thing, I felt really bad because I kind of like voiced frustration, and I kind of feel being older and being a fan of Ed that I have to be supportive and everything to Wolfgang.
No, you don't.
No, but that's just me. That's me in my head, right?
Right.
So I go to that show and I was a little frustrated, right? But then I'm thinking about this now, and I'm watching the direction that EVH is going. There's still stuff that they could go after for the EVH stuff that hasn't been done yet, like the Rasta guitar.
Yep.
Like there's cool stuff they could do, and I think they're going a different direction now, and it's kind of weird because there's been a couple moments now when I thought to myself, what would Ed say? Ed always said, "This is what I use."
Yep.
And it gets road tested, and I don't put it out unless it's road tested, and Skid obviously is not here anymore to do it. But there's a part of me. Like the chords. Remember when I did the chord?
Yeah.
When I pulled the cord out and it was a whole day, and now they're just soldered in. I mean, like Ed's thing was he had that protective melted plastic to where there's no way that guitar's coming, that solder joint's breaking.
Right.
Zero chance of that ever happening. And now they're soldered in. So I just think they're going a different direction, and it kind of bugs me. But at the same time, I guess it happens to everything. Right. Well, everything changes, and everything changes. So
it's kind of like the point I made when Jackson released the Pro Origin series guitars. Jackson seems to be doing a lot of the throwback retro stuff with their new lines coming out. But Charvel's moving into the newer stuff with the sculpted neck heels and that kind of stuff. They've got one with an Evertune bridge now. They're starting to roll out some 7 strings, stuff like that. And being on those forums and stuff on Facebook and whatnot, that's what like the younger gen that wants to get into Charvel is asking for. Oh, I'm tired of the big blocky neck heel. Well, I've been playing the big blocky neck heel for 27 years. They don't bother me.
Right.
But all these other guys that will kind of want to go for that classic Charvel look, but they've been playing like ESPs and Schecters and, you know, whatever the popular metal guitars are nowadays, they don't want the big blocky neck heel, and they want active pickups. And like, I cannot stand any of the Fishman pickups at all. I hate every set of Fishman pickups I've ever tried. I hate them.
Yeah, I got Fishman in that satchel, and I had to swap the push pull because the up sounded way better than the down. So I just swapped the two leads, and it stays on the up and the down position all the time. I'll never use that down position ever.
But
that's the only Fishmans I have.
The up is like, which is voice 2, is like the Alnico voicing.
Well, that would make sense.
So
that would make sense.
I had a what's his face? Josh Middleton signature model ESP. He's in a band called Silosis. Great death thrash metal band from the UK, if you're into that kind of stuff. But and he's an amazing player. But he had the Fluence Moderns in that thing, and they were too sterile. And he'll even tell you, I love them because they're sterile. They do what I need them to do with the fast riffs and, you know, the cutting solos and stuff. But you pull I think it was a tone pot on it. You pulled it up and it would go to the Alnico voicing, and it was just sounded like the same, but with way more bass. And I was like, nope. So I was luckily all that stuff is plug and play with EMGs. So I was going to swap it for an EMG setup, an 85, probably 85 and a 60, because I like the 85 over the 81. And I ended up selling that guitar. Just I got to have a Floyd Rose on pretty much everything.
Yeah, I'm there too. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those, when you've been playing them so long, it feels weird not playing a guitar that doesn't have one.
I think it's funny how a lot of people don't have them because they're intimidated by them.
Oh,
it's just too much. It's just too much work. It's really not.
It's not.
But it's really not. So
it's like my buddy. He sent me a Instagram reel for the Red Bishop intonation tool. He's like, man, you should get one of those.
Come
on. I'm like,
no.
I'm like, you've watched me intonate one of these things in 10 minutes. I don't need that tool.
No, you don't need that tool. I saw that too. I was like, well, that's interesting, but it's regurgitated. It's something that's already been done.
Yeah.
You know, kind of different, but I mean, same but different. And you don't need a tool to intonate a Floyd Rose. You just need to take the slack out, and then you unlock it and you pull it back a little bit, and you maybe 2 or 3 times back and forth, and you're done. You know, and you don't have to spend $75 on a tool. Hey, real quick. So I was sitting there doing nothing the other day on my day off, or was it yesterday? And I pulled this guitar out. I started playing. It played really good. And this is the one that had black springs in it, right? So I swapped it out to gold, and it plays amazing. But I swapped the pickup out from black to zebra.
Yep.
Okay, so my question is this. I just started a poll. Black or zebra? Because I don't know where I'm at on this. I think I might have liked the black better, the black. So I think I got to go back. So anyways, I just put a poll in there.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the zebras.
Well, let's see. Let's see what the chat says, because this is going to be interesting, because I want to see. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, zebra's like, oh, it's 50-50 now. I put who cares in there too. Nobody's said who cares yet, so now somebody will, because I said no. But oh, zebra's a 55. So hey, everybody, look at the guitar. Tell me, should I leave it zebra, or should I put the black pickup back in the bridge? I thought the zebra kind of looked cool. That's a RTM in the bridge and a Doug Aldrich in the neck, Sir Doug Aldrich in the neck. So if I go back to black, I'm going to put a SSH Plus in there. Randy's SSH Plus I will put in this guitar. So, and it'll be black. So anyways, we'll let that run for a little while, but it looks like I'm leaving it because it's at 67, 63%, 33%. So anyways,
I actually kind of like the way that looks with the one zebra and the one black.
It looks like a hot rod. That's why I like it. You know, it just looks like, you know, something broke and you didn't have a black pickup, so you threw the zebra in there. You know.
Yep.
So anyways, great. I mean, amazing playing guitar. I mean, this thing, the bends on this things are ridiculous. On this thing is ridiculous. But yeah, I did that the other morning, and then I got done with it, and I was like, man, I don't know if I made a mistake. So anyways,
I like it. I think it looks cool like that.
I think I'm going to leave it because I'm at 68%, 35. So let's say whatever. So anyways, thanks for the help on that, everybody. Let's see. 40. Oh, look at this. This is cool. What's this? 40 grit guitars. I got to see thanks to Randy and the rest of the OU crew for inspiring me to get my stuff set up. Yeah, man. I mean, dude. You got to get your stuff set up, bro. Everybody should set their stuff up. Peggy says, I don't like active pickups. Yeah, active pickups. I'm not a fan. They are not that much work. Floyd Rose are not. I think you're talking about the Floyd Rose. They are not. Leave it zebra. All right, yep. Peggy. Well, then there you go. And that guitar, Black Bridge Humbucker. Rob Blackmore says black. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
But they're all red and black. I think the zebra just, I don't know, man. The zebra makes it pop. And, you know, when you first see it, it doesn't even look like it's got a neck humbucker in it. And
maybe I should go back to a black three-way switch. Maybe that's my problem. I'll just put a black three-way switch on there. But I thought it was cool with the cream. And if you play this, you know, when the day comes, I start playing shows again, and it might be a little dark. You can see your throw switch.
Or you could do the two-face thing and put a double cream in the bridge and the black neck.
Double cream might look good too. I've got a double cream. Mr. Scary in there. I've got a double cream Mr. Scary in the pickup box. Should do that. If black, use red bobbin tape. Oh, that's a cool idea. Hot rod, damn right. Stupidity.
I mean, it's kind of like what I did to I mean, I just went full zebra on that one.
That's a sharp guitar.
This is a JB in the bridge and an upside down 59 custom hybrid in the neck. So,
is that an 84 bridge, or did you put the brass on there?
That's the OG Floyd 1000 that came on it. And these are those brass fine tuners I was telling you about, the machinist guy on Reverb cells.
Oh, okay.
That are longer.
Yeah.
I put those on there. This guitar needs a fret level, and it'll be mint. But for anybody wondering, the Duncan 59 Custom Hybrid actually makes a really good neck pickup to something, you know, going against a JB or something like that. But I did have to take the Dremel to this one because I like using the rings and having some adjustment on them.
Yep.
And the pickup cavities on these guitars are super shallow, so I had to go in there with the Dremel and drill out the little ears.
Yep. The dog ears.
So I could fit the pickups down in there. I need to do the neck one a little bit deeper. I didn't quite do it deep enough because that neck pickup needs to come down a hair. But yeah, I don't know if you can see the Duncan logos upside down on there.
Oh yeah.
Because a 59 Custom Hybrid's a bridge pickup. But it actually sounds really good in the neck like that. But yeah, I think this is the last Charvel I bought off eBay, and I had one more of the old school, the period correct brass knobs.
Yeah.
And I put the cream toggle switch on there and all that stuff for going for the pre-pro vibes. But this guitar has barely been played. Whoever I bought it from, it's got a brass block in it, and it's got 3 springs, but the middle spring's the black one.
Yeah.
And
you can mix and match.
It's definitely got a shim in the pocket because the bridge is perfectly decked.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be able to see it, but I can see the neck angle on it. I mean, if it didn't have the pickup ring on there, I could probably get one of those bent Phillips heads in there to adjust the truss rod. It's got so much angle on it. So I may take that shim out and it's got a stopper on it as well. So, or it's got a piece of wood in there. Somebody he glued a piece of wood in there to mount against the block.
How much travel do you have, though? If you take that shim out, your action's going way up. You have to bring your bridge down.
Right. Or maybe, wait a minute. No, maybe, I don't remember what I was thinking about doing. Never mind. But it's got a hell of a lot of neck angle in it. I do know that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's comfortable.
Yeah, I mean it plays great.
Yeah.
The action's good, but this one, the black and green one, was the same way when I got it. Somebody had done the same thing, and when Willie leveled the frets on it, he pulled the shim out, and because it had a stopper and a brass block and all that already on it, so he just pulled the shim out since it had a stopper on it. But that guitar plays better than this one. This one plays good, but that guitar plays and sounds a little bit better than this one. Mm. But
when you guys were live the other night and you started talking about the Hagar thing, I've got that written down here. Hagar.
Hagar.
We're at 64-36 now for the zebra, so the zebra's staying. So that just freed me up for something to do on my next day off. I don't have to do it now. What's your guys' take on the Hagar thing? What's everybody in the chat's take on the best of both worlds right now? I really want to talk about that because I gotta tell you, it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to stomach. I mean, like everybody's when it first started, they were saying that Satriani was doing his own thing. You have to understand with some of that Van Halen stuff, the right thing and the cool thing is to not do the Satriani thing.
Right. And Ed never played the same thing twice anyway.
And he's not even trying. I mean, like they started playing Mine All Mine, and
that sounded terrible.
I was like, what is he doing? Like I was listening. I mean, like, come on, man. Just like, I mean, that was my first concert, Monsters of Rock, 88, Pontiac Silverdome. I mean, Mine All Mine. I mean, that was surely in the set list. You know, that was the tour, the OU812 tour.
Right.
And, oh my God. I started hearing the keyboards. And if you don't know, that is Toto's keyboard player.
Yeah. And what's his face is playing with Toto. Yeah.
Yeah. They swapped. So, I forgot who commented, but they said that his backing vocals sound just like Ed.
Huh.
He harmonizes really good with Michael Anthony. So I was like, okay, cool. That, you know, that's cool. I'll watch it. So I started watching it, and then Satriani's guitar comes in on Mine on Mine, and I was like, oh my God. And I had to turn it off, you know?
Right. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
What am I watching? You know what I'm saying? Oh God, we're at 4% for who cares. Let's see what everybody's saying here. See if anybody, I don't think anybody's even commenting about the Hagar stuff. Maybe everybody wants to be quiet. What would you think about a guitar with a 3 push-pull knobs and a 6-way switch? 2 3-way switches, and man, that's hardcore.
That's like way too much stuff for me.
It's a little complicated for me. I'm not sure if I'd be able to pull that off.
Yeah, I kind of just I like one knob. I like a volume knob, and I don't care about tone knobs.
That's where I'm at.
So.
Double cream, Mr. Scary. Rob Blackmore says the double cream, Mr. Scary. Reverse Dimebag with the zebra in the bridge. Yep. Reverse Dimebag.
Dimebag used a 59 bridge, a zebra 59 bridge in the neck position.
Oh, okay.
Of his of all his guitars, and they had the Bill Lawrence in the bridge.
Hmm.
Yo, what's up, Matt?
Matt, what's up, man? Welcome. Randy is here tonight, hanging out with me. Yeah. So I mean that I have a hard time with the Sammy Hagar thing with Satriani, and now they're doing the Vi tour. So I think they're done for a while, right?
Probably.
They won't be doing that for a while.
You know. Everybody goes, well, he could have picked. There's so many better options out there to play Van Halen than Satriani. You know, everyone brings up, Pete Thorne and Jacob DeRaps and all these guys.
You made a good point on this. Keep going.
They don't put butts in seats.
That's right.
I mean, DeRaps, right. Doug Rappaport can play Van Halen, especially that early Van Halen stuff, and sound damn near identical to the way Ed played stuff. And, when you're talking Hagar and Michael Anthony, your guitar player for that is... Whether they can pull it off properly or not has got to be a big name dude in the guitar hero realm.
Yeah.
And I think they also are kind of looking for somebody in their age group too. So, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Jacob DeRaps playing 200, 300 seat clubs, and Satriani's playing Vegas residencies and amphitheaters. So,
dude, my buddy used to play the Token Lounge in Michigan, and Jacob DeRaps was at the Token Lounge like 2 nights ago.
yeah.
And it's a tiny, tiny place, man. So yeah, you certainly have a point with that. Now, I mean, like Jacob DeRaps versus Joe Satriani on Van Halen stuff, DeRaps is going to mop the floor with him.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because he doesn't put asses in seats like you were saying. So yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't do it. Peggy says that Ron just built one. It's going to be crazy. Oh, a 6-way switch with. Okay, that's
like
cool.
Some Dan Huff stuff going
That's
on.
That's a hardcore shit going on there.
Yo,
hey,
Mr.
Mick, what's up, dude? How's it going, man? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. We're just bullshitting tonight. Phil X. I like Phil X.
Yeah,
great guy. Great Van Halen stuff. I mean, that guy's he's a fan too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Let's see here. Satch is getting paid well. To your best ability, plays to the best plays as parts. Don't jam people want to hear Van Halen songs. Okay, how do I help me decipher this one? So Satch is getting paid well, sure he is, and he's playing the best of it. He's
his
playing
ability,
maybe. I was under the assumption when this whole thing started that Joe had zero interest in learning the stuff note for note. He was going to play it his way.
Right.
That's what I understood. That's what the game plan was for Satriani. But it just is what it is. Maybe I just feel like that whole drama with Alex and everybody just needs to go away because it's over and it's done. And
exactly.
And it's not going back, and everybody just needs to stop talking about everybody. That's the. I saw the Hagar show on the first run 2 years ago, and it was a great time. But Satch just doesn't have the attack of EVH as he shouldn't. I mean, like maybe I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth right now because if somebody got up there and started playing Eddie Van Halen stuff perfectly, we'd be picking them apart anyways. So maybe that's just Satriani's way of not getting picked apart too hard. He's saying, I'm just doing my own thing because, maybe he just saved himself some grief. I mean, which is smart.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who's up there playing it. They're going to get picked apart.
Yep.
So, and he knows that.
Yep. I agree. Backstage recordings. What's up, dude? Token Lounge is a hole in the club. Buddy, I'm telling you. I mean, I played there, or my buddy played there, and I roadied for him when we were in high school. It's crazy. I recently acquired a nice vintage Duncan 59 bridge, Marcella Juarez wound, and a Duncan custom shop Alan Holdsworth metal fatigue cup,
aka a double screw JB.
Both skated for killer builds. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Did you sell that gem that you built, that Vi Charvel that you built? Did you sell that? Or did you keep it?
The green meanie build he did?
Yeah. I'm wondering about that one. My buddy sent me a picture. We were talking the other day, or maybe I sent him a picture of a. No, he did. He said, "Hey, did you see this Ibanez, Chinese Ibanez Loch Ness green gem that I got?" And I looked at it and I go, looks great, man. I mean, like if you put them together, you wouldn't notice a difference. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So a couple $100 versus what, 6,000-7,000 now, right? For one of the originals. And then I said to myself, I said, I gotta ask the question though. I mean, what's the last cool thing that Vi did?
I mean, I guess you would probably say the Hydra thing, but it didn't do anything for me.
Because I went back to Gravity Storm. I go, the last tune that Vi came out with that I thought was just badass was Gravity Storm. I thought that was a cool lick, But then we started talking about, like what is the, obviously, what is Vi's number one album?
Passion and Warfare.
Passion and Warfare, right? So then what's number 2? And then do you say Flexible? Because if you say anything else other than Flexible, I'm lost.
Well, you got what was Bad Horsey on?
Alien Love Secrets?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably his number 2 is Slip of the Tongue. White Snake, Slip of the Tongue.
Oh, so yeah. Well, if we go to Whitesnake, of course, yeah, man, of course, yeah. And then Flexible Leftovers, maybe. I'd probably do Flexible Leftovers. That's good. And then, but I mean, like just anything recently, man. It's tough to listen to. I was watching Pete Thorne to say, did you watch his? I'm getting ready to go on the road with Steve, and he's going through all the stuff, like all the guitars he's going to use and all the sounds and everything. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Pete Thorne's live from Sunday. It was pretty good. But I sit there going, man, I just like nothing was grabbing me, like, with regards to with like, like coolness, like, oh my God, that's just badass. I did not feel that. If you didn't see, there's a new Joe Bonamassa interview.
Yeah, his third time on the
I think it's Gotham. It's in Gotham, right?
No, he's at Nashville.
Is it Nashville?
Yeah.
Such a good interview, man. I mean, like, I don't listen to Joe Bonamassa. I mean, like, I'll sit there and watch him. But man, the guy, I mean, like, just as far as like being a guitar collector, he's so much fun to listen to because he really knows his shit, man. I mean, like, yeah, I sit there and listen to that guy and I'm like, he's got it figured out.
He does. And he admits that he is king cork sniffer when it comes to all that vintage stuff too.
Yeah, it's so cool. They were talking about going to Silent Stage. Did you watch it?
I've watched most of it.
Yeah, like when he was talking about leaving all of his gear at home, he goes, "I totally understand why they do it. I totally understand."
And then he brings up, he goes, what if Eddie showed up with a modeler?
Yeah, a Sir. He said it wouldn't have been as cool if he showed up with a with some digital rig and a Sir. Would it be as cool? Hell no. Because the coolness was, the boogie body, all that stuff, and that's the point he was trying to make. But the one thing that I took from that was he said, I told the companies that wanted to clone all my sounds so I didn't have to take my amps on the road. If I ever have to do that, I'm selling everything. Because there'll never come a time when I want to go on a stage without an actual amplifier up there, which I thought was cool. To have him say that, I thought that was really neat. So it's cool. So if you haven't seen the new Bonamassa video with those guys, who are those guys? I don't even know who those guys are.
Jared James Nichols and Tyler Larson. His YouTube channel is Music is Win. He's been a YouTuber guy for probably about 15 years or so.
Yeah, I don't even know who the guy is, but I mean, like they do a hell of an interview with him.
Yep.
So that was good. And everybody's saying hello to each other. No one plays like Eddie. I agree with that, Peggy. You are correct about that. Correction isn't working. You're fine. Lita Ford, what? Just played the token. Oh, really? No kidding. That's cool. Flexible, Stu Petty. I agree. Flexible is a cool album. I hoarded a bunch of, look at this. German Schaller built clamps and all finishes once the handwriting was on the wall for the production end. I did that too. I hoarded a bunch of Floyd Rose's made in Germany's. But I knew it was coming because my buddy owns a guitar shop here, or he was a partial owner. He bought out, but he's a partial owner. He said, "Hey, Mike, start buying Floyd Roses because they're going." And I have a bunch of made in Germany's, like boxes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 19 Floyd Rose boxes right over there. So, and there's a Floyd in every one of them. So it's good to have the made in Germany hoarded stuff. It's good to have it hoarded. See here, backstage recording. So your sister is Amanda. Yes. I saw that Steve had guitar she painted, and that's really cool. I saw that. Yeah, that's really neat. So yeah, she's got some cool stuff going on, man. I always watch her. I think I follow her on Instagram, and she's always doing something cool. So yeah, Yes, I did see that. So yeah, very cool. Oh, your niece. I thought it was your sister. That's your niece.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood. Okay. Um, so I think so we're at 60%, 37, and 3% of who cares. So you guys save me some work on my next day off. I don't have to change the pickup out. Need to worry about that. Randy, you got anything else?
Trying to think. I had something I wanted to talk about, and I don't remember what it
Let's
is.
go. Oh, did you see? You saw the Les Paul when I put the Doug Aldrich in there, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't put that Les Paul down. That's a good one, man. I'm so glad I bought that guitar because I was on the fence of doing that, of buying that or not buying that. I went to Norm's that day after we left Friedman's, and I put the black eye pickguard on there like Aldrich, and God, man, this thing just plays freaking. You know how you said it just plays. I mean, this. Oh God, the resistance is so nice on this guitar. But yeah, I pulled the I guess there's what pickups are in this? The burst burst buckers? I don't know. I pulled them out though. Put the Aldrich in.
Is that I can't remember. Is that a standard or is that like
standard?
Yeah,
it's a standard. It's
50,
a standard.
50 standard.
50 standard. I like the thicker neck.
Yeah, that's the 50s burst buckers.
I like the 50s, and I like the fatter neck. I'm not a big fan of that 60s neck. That thin. I like the fatter neck.
Yeah, see, I don't like the 50s neck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like, it just depends on, it all comes down to feel. There's no right or wrong answer. It comes down to what you like better. I've got a 60s neck in there. I've got that. I've got a ebony board studio white, and it's got a 60s neck on it. It's just a little too thin for me personally. I want to try that new Pete Thorne neck with the V. They're all soft V's now.
Ugh.
All of his. I want to try one. I mean, I'm not sure if I would buy one, but I would like to try one. Let's see, try them out.
I'll tell you what neck I like, and score one for buying a cheap guitar that's freaking awesome. I think I sent you this when I bought it back in December. This old early '90s LTD M2.
Mm-hmm.
The neck on this guitar freaking rocks. It's not super thin. It's I mic'd it. It's 0.810 at the first and 0.870 at the 12th.
That's thin.
So which is basically the same. It's very close thickness wise to the Lynch neck. So to me, it feels like the Lynch profile, just not as wide.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's an R3 nut. The spacing feels like R3 spacing, but man, I don't know, man. I mean, you can just tell these first pre-production LTDs. I mean, you just tell it was made in Japan. That it's not a Korean or Vietnam or China or any of that stuff that they've made these LTDs in. I emailed ESP the serial number on this thing a few weeks ago, and they finally emailed me back, and it shows a January 95 production date. So that means it was because they didn't debut LTD in the States until NAMM of 96. So the first, from everything I've ever read and been told and whatnot, the first 2 years or so of LTDs where the serial number is stamped in the end of the fretboard were made in Japan, and this guitar feels like it was made in Japan. But if you put it neck and neck with one of the actual ESP M2s from the time, they're identical look wise, except for you can kind of see with the reflection of how far back that pickup is. It's a 24 fret neck, but you see how far back that pickup is off the fretboard end. The actual ESP is butted straight up against the fretboard. It's angled, but other than that, they're identical. And whoever I had this before me put a JB and a little 59 in it, which is what the ESP ones had. And I took that little 59 out a couple weeks ago and put an Air Norton S.
We all like the Air Norton.
And dude, the JB Air Norton S combo is great.
Yeah.
But I pulled that JB out just to see kind of how new it was, because you can tell by the base plates and the labels. And that JB, that's an early 90s JB. So it's possible, I would know if I took the pickup apart. It's possible it's got a hybrid A5 in it. Duncan was doing that for a little bit, where one side was polished and the other side was rough cast. So, but this guitar is loud. It's super loud. It's super resonant, and it sounds freaking great.
Is it Alder, you think?
Yeah, I think these were Alder.
Alder.
I think maple neck, rosewood board. I don't even think that the headstock's really truly painted. I think it's a
Plastic.
I think it's a plastic or a vinyl or something that they cleared over the front of it. But satin neck, and the neck profile is like perfect.
BC Rich did that too. They had that small veneer,
right?
That plastic veneer,
and I think that's what this is on these. But man, this guitar, I've been nothing but happy with this guitar since I got it. It had the shallower Floyd on it, the zinc base plate one, the smaller profile one. And I took it off, and I had to order the shorter locking screws from Schaller, and put a black original Floyd in there, and it's got a big block. I am probably going to have to. I didn't put the stopper in it; it already had a stopper in it, but I put the big block in there, and 37. I guess 37. Yeah, it's 37 big block, and. But the only thing is, and I guess it's because of the shorter profile on those Schaller Floyds, the non-Lockmeister Schaller Floyds, the spring cavity back here is shorter, which is the main why it's got 3 red springs. And the highest up I can tune this thing without the bridge lifting is drop D. If I go to E standard, the bridge lifts. And and you can see that claw is all the way in. It is up against the body. It's that spring cavity is a little bit short. So if I were going, which I'm fine with leaving it in drop D, it sounds good in drop D. But
that's interesting.
But if I was going to tune it up, I'd have to put another spring on it. But it's super loud, super resonant. Not bad for a $500, 30-something-year-old import guitar. I've been super happy with it.
The last import guitar I bought that I was happy with was the Phil McKnight BC Rich. Did you see that one?
After you did the work to it?
Yeah, the Gunslinger.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that thing plays like butter. I mean, like that thing just plays like butter. It needs some fret work, but I mean, it just is what it is. He probably didn't want to put the time into it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. Either way. Let's see here. TV show Hoarders. Guitar version. Yeah. I
mean, the 10 on the rack back there is not all the ones here, so
I'd like to
see there's cases here, there's cases back here.
Yeah, you haven't seen my pickup collection, buddy. It gets a lot worse. It gets a lot worse.
I've got a pretty good one. I've got a load of them that's probably about to go on reverb here soon.
Here's the thing. So I think it was Phil McKnight said a couple weeks ago. I was watching one of his shows, and he said, "I want to own every guitar I've ever wanted once."
Yeah, I can see that.
And I was like, man, he just hit the nail on the head. He's like, if I have it for a couple weeks, if I have it forever, I just want to own every guitar I've ever wanted once. So, I mean, hoarding, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, it's at the point now to where I can't turn back. I can't turn back. I just got to keep going. Show it again. I think you're talking about this. This is the one. There's a, I asked you guys black, leave it and put a black bridge pickup back in, or leave it zebra, or if you don't care, just put 6% don't care. No, perfect. Leave it as black or leave it as with the zebra. I think the zebra is going to win. I think you're probably talking about the Les Paul. Thank you. That's a nice one. James here. I changed back to my better name. Avatar People has been updating work. Oh, cool, man. Hey, thanks for being here, dude. James, good to see you back. 40 grit. I never left. I just you know,
Been taking some time.
Caught up in life, man. Just going to work and, you know, doing my thing and, you know, just to jump on when I can. ESP, LTD, and X are good. My EC1000 Deluxe is killer. Oh, Randy, you've got a question here. I'm not super knowledgeable of LTD, but I had a LTD M100 FM and I put a JB in it and the guitar still wasn't great. Besides pickups, how can you make a guitar kick ass?
Well, what wasn't great about it? The 100 series is like the next to the lowest, or in the budget line of LTDs. I think the 100 FM is the photo flame or the veneer flame maple top. Some guitars are just dead. Right. Unfortunately, not all of them can be bangers. Unfortunately, a big key thing is making sure it's properly set up. If your action's too low, it's going to sound like shit. If it's too high, it's going to be uncomfortable to play. It'll be there. You get really high action, guitars get real boomy sounding. You know, you're also talking to, you know, you put a JB in, but does it have the stock El Cheapo pots and stuff in it? You know, a lot of those import pots are not good.
Yeah, you're better off gutting. I mean, like if you buy an inexpensive guitar like that, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to, you know, there's going to have to be some upgrades.
Yeah, I mean, if I bought a budget something with some kind of no-name electronics in it like that, I mean, that's another thing with that LTD. Whoever had it before me, everything in it's all the wiring, the pot, the switch, it's all Mojo tone.
Mm-hmm. He gutted it.
They completely gutted it when he put the Duncan pickups in it.
And it probably sounds good.
It does. It sounds phenomenal. Yep. I like DiMarzio pots. I think the taper on them's perfect.
Yeah, I'm going DiMarzio 100% now on everything. Whenever I'm swapping something, it's getting a DiMarzio.
Yep.
Courtesy of Banjo Mike.
Always.
I think he's out. I think I bought the remainder of his stock the other day, so I think he might be out now.
He doesn't have a black and green Norton, damn it. So I'm going to have to order that from DiMarzio.
Yeah, check out Banjo Mike on eBay. It's awesome.
He finally got his reverb store back going too.
Oh,
so
really?
He's on Reverb too. I don't think all of his inventory is on Reverb. It is on eBay though. So Banjo Mike's with a Z.
Yeah.
On Reverb.
He's awesome, man. I've been buying pickups that guy for years and years and years and years. Yep. Jim says you've been busy. I would like to see your guitar again. And I would like to choose. Oh yeah. So this is it. Leave the zebra. Put a black pickup back in. Either way. This is, you know, either way. 40. That Les Paul looks awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Randy and 40. Do you guys always put tremolo stops in your Floyds? Yeah.
Nope.
I mean,
nope. This one's a floater. This one floats. This one goes up and down.
The only ones I haven't blocked are my Lynches.
Yeah, neither one of my Lynches are blocked. By Burnt Tiger and that Tiger's, they're floating. This is my Gary Moore tribute, Adrian Smith Jackson.
That's cool.
You know, this guitar just got auctioned. Gary's got auctioned with his wickedly bad volume knob placement directly against the pickup.
Oh God, that drives me nuts.
But you know, that guitar originally had a maple fretboard neck on it with a painted white Charvel neck, and at some point he put a rosewood board neck on it with a Jackson logo on it. So
I like that logo.
I love Adrian Smith and I really love Gary Moore, and that was like my favorite Gary Moore guitar. So I gutted this one and pickguard. I left the volume down here out of my way where I like it.
Yeah.
And then put a JB in it. And did the chrome bar on it like Gary's had. So but this guitar is awesome.
Did you see the Bonamassa with the Gary Moore Soldano?
Yep.
God, man. So freaking cool. That thing just sounds amazing. So it's fucking great. I think I looked up how much he paid for that. I forgot what it was though.
It's like 25 grand.
I think it was 25 grand. I think you're right. I think you paid 25 grand for that. It's pretty cool.
I know. I don't know if you know Will Wallner. He got the DSL, Gary's prototype DSL head that he used throughout the early 2000s.
Okay.
And shit, I saw the other day who bought the super bass, Gary's super bass. I don't remember who it was now. Somebody famous bought Gary's super bass, 68 or 69 super bass.
Richard Hull when is the gear acquisition syndrome support meeting?
This is it.
This is it. Feel free to state your name in the chat.
Right. You know, you need to get rid of some stuff. We'll take it.
See, very knowledgeable, cool dude. Thanks. Probably talking to Randy. I have a just say either or like Bull Zebra Black Beauty is a eye, or Black Beauty is the eye, but it's in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, I agree. But I swapped this. I wasn't sure, so that's kind of why I went in there to get everybody's take, because it's easier when everybody looks at it and says yes or no. Don't do that. Popping in to say what's up from a hotel room at Bessemer, Alabama. What a shithole. Brad, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
You're about what's Bessemer? Bessemer's probably 2.5 hours for me, maybe. It's just south of Birmingham. It's about 2.5 hour ride.
Dude says great nerdy talk. Always great nerdy talk with Randy. Let's see. Red Bread. What are you doing in Bessemer? Out of town? Sorry, Brad. I'm in Northern. You fellas. Everybody's laughing and talking. So yeah. Let me see. You got. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Oh, my Henrik. That's what I have in my Henrik. I got a JB and the Air Norton.
Yep, that's a great combo.
That's a great combo. So if you're looking for like a single neck, you know that Air Norton's always a good one. Air Norton's always a good choice.
The Air Norton's great, man. It's open. It's got the right amount of bass for a neck pickup if you want to do that kind of liquidy high gain lead tone. And the pickup, it's like low medium output, but it sounds like it's way hotter than it is. So it pairs up with a lot of other pickups.
I think I have an Air Norton in that green build. Yeah, it is. It is. In the Shoals area, where's that, Randy? I don't know where that is. Do you know where that is?
That's northern Alabama.
Okay.
Muscle Shoals area. A lot of music history up there in Muscle Shoals. A lot of studios and all that stuff. That 60s Muscle Shoals sound.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well,
I think, I did this a few weeks ago. Been playing it again. This guitar is awesome. Back before they were $3,000 something for one of these.
I saw you guys talking about those are expensive, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and now they've got the new 50th anniversary Maiden guitars, and so they're doing it again with the maple board, but a painted headstock and the black pickguard and all that stuff. Which this one was originally white with the white pickguard, and it had had a super distortion and the two Fender samarium cobalt nickel noiseless single coils, and I got rid of those.
What'd you do with them? Did you keep them or you sell them?
They are in Quentin James's Schecter.
Oh, that's cool.
The JB that was originally in the Henrik is in Quentin James's Schecter. That's why it's called Juicy Booty. He calls that guitar Juicy Booty. I gave him that pickup and the two Fender SCN singles. So that's where those went. And the Super Distortion's sitting in a box with a bunch of other pickups.
Chuck C says the new Jakey Lee Blueburst is $4,000 now. Dude, they're doing an MIM now. It's like, it's super cheap. I just saw a Made in Mexico they're doing on that guitar now, right?
They're doing a Mexico Blueburst now?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like super cheap. I was like, oh my God, I should buy it. Yeah, they're doing that now.
The necks on those things are small, man.
Super tiny, man. I've had one before. I bought a blue one with the gold bridge, and I just remember that neck was so tiny. It was just like, You buy a Charvel and you think it's going to have the Charvel feel, and those Jakey Lees do not have the Charvel feel. They're tiny. And the edges, I remember that guitar not having very rolled edges. It felt more like sharp, like it was more of a sharper feel. I was like, I'm not sure if I like this neck, and then I ended up selling it. So, Randy, does the JB have a rough cast in it? I'm liking the one I swapped magnets on.
This one does not. This is a brand new modern Trimbucker JB.
I need to try one of those rough casts. I'm sure I've had one in the past. Maybe I even have one now.
It's got the same, high mid honk that the JBs have that cut through, but the rough cast really kind of tames that high end spike that the newer JBs have. That's why the older ones sound better. And the closest, if you were going to go DiMarzio to that sound of an old JBJ, is the Andy Timmons pickup.
I love that Andy Timmons pickup. I got that in that red Wolfgang. I got one of those red, white, and black Wolfgangs. You know, those painted ones?
Yep.
Got it from Guitar Center for like $700. And I go, why is this so cheap? I got it and it didn't work. That's that one I told you the lead was pinched.
Yeah.
So I rewired everything and everything was perfect, but I pulled the pickup and had an Andy Timmons in the bridge. I didn't even mess with that pickup. That pickup's fantastic.
It is. That's probably my second favorite pickup to the JB is the Andy Timmons, and there's a Instagram page, and they haven't updated it in like a year, and it sucked because they were doing awesome stuff. It's called Guitar Pickups Database, and the guy actually he put it on he did a comparison of a JB and an AT1 to see how close they are. And because, Andy Timmons even says that pickup was modeled after his worn-in JBJ. And the resonant peak, when you put them on an oscilloscope and look at the graph, they're identical. The resonant peak's the same.
So,
well.
Hey, look, it's Ryan.
What is going on, gentlemen?
What up?
Couldn't let you guys have all the fun tonight.
No, man, you were invited from the get-go. Just you were out running around.
Yeah, out running around, getting some dinner.
Chasing ladies.
Chasing some tail.
Well, Randy was saying that you're thinking about getting rid of your R9. Is that true?
Well, everything is for sale for the right price.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you never know.
And you're going to go exclusive to Steinbergers, huh?
I'm digging the Steinbergers. So,
yeah.
I'm kind of looking for those. And I do have an update on the Steinberger that I have in the shop. I don't know everybody in here if they know what's going on, but everybody from over my channel may know that it's in the shop, and I've got some modifications that I'm doing to it. I was going to take and make it a GM2T as opposed to the 5T. So I'm going to have the upper single coil routed for a humbucker. And it's at the shop, and it's got 2 USA Wolfgang pickups that I was going to put in it. And I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to do the GM2T, I might as well keep it, Steinberger related. Yep. And so I woke up for whatever reason last night, and something told me to go on reverb.
Oh, shit.
I love those nights.
Literally.
That's every night for me.
Woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and something said, go on reverb. So I went on reverb, and I had been searching for some vintage EMG 85s and couldn't find them because they used to be, the leads came off of the pickups and you soldered them on just like any other pickup. And then they changed to the quick connect.
Mm-hmm.
So, the vintage ones have the vintage logo on them, and the new ones have on the E, there's a little thing that kind of pokes off to the left, and you can kind of tell the difference in them. So I went on reverb, and something was just like, look for EMG pickups. So I did a search, and there was a shop in New Jersey, I think. They had 2 EMG 85s that they were selling that were the non-solderless type or non quick connect type. Sorry,
Right.
they were both the solder type. And so I was like, well, there it is. That's my sign. So I bought 2 vintage logo EMG 85s to put into that Steinberger. So it'll be kind of similar to what Vita Brata had, 85 on that. And that's exactly what's in the GL2T as well, is an 85. So I'm going to go that route, leave it EMG and get it, factory looking, as opposed to putting the passive Wolfgangs in it. So that'll have to go to another project.
There you go.
Those are the best nights when you wake up and you're like, man, I can't sleep. Well, let's just go ahead and look at Reverb. And there's always something that pops up there and you're like, oh my God, yes, let's go.
Exactly.
That's dangerous.
Let's go.
Yeah, I had kind of had that thought before, and I couldn't find any. I think Headless USA sells them, but you have to send your guitar to them so that they can install them. They will not sell them directly to you. So it kind of lucked out that I found a couple. And so, yeah.
That's that Kramer. So I was going through my guitar, like, posters and stuff the other day. I have an autographed picture of Valerie Bertinelli they got years ago with her holding that Kramer Steinberger. You know the one I'm talking
Between her
about?
legs. Yeah.
So I was looking at that guitar and I'm like, and now Headless is doing those guitars, aren't they?
Well, they did a limited run of bodies. So,
I heard Donnie Ward was the one that made the bodies.
Possibly. She had asked me about, who I thought would be a good contact for some bodies. And I gave her Donnie's contact information. So I think that's who did them.
And then people sent in Kramer necks? Or did they just sell the bodies?
They're just selling the body itself.
Oh.
Now, there are some plans, as far as I know, to make some graphite reinforced necks, and possibly some replacement Steinberger bodies.
Oh man.
So there's some things in the works. I don't know if you know, but she had sent me one of their trans trims to test out. So I put it into my custom Ransom guitar that's got the locking nut on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it transposes beautifully. I had to do some adjustments to it. There were a couple things, with any new product in production, they found that some of the bearings they were having some trouble with. So I had to replace one of the bearings and do a little bit of touch-up work on some of the clearance of it. And I reported all that back to her, and I think that's stuff that they've taken care of. But, I got to say that trans trim that they make from Headless USA is super, super accurate with the transposing. So if anybody has a project that they're doing, maybe look into Headless USA. I know that eventually they're going to be full force with a lot of replacement bodies. Some necks are coming. And the trans trim that they've got, I think the third iteration of those should be perfect. So,
yeah, that's cool. I've seen a couple like guys doing it. That Howard Stern guy's got one. That
he's Steve Nowicki.
Yeah, he's got a Steinberger, like a Kramer. I saw him playing one, and then
I think that was one of the bodies from Headless USA, and that is a Headless USA trans trim that he's using.
Yeah, that's a cool setup he's got. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I wish I had his contacts so I could get up there and play Summer Nights with Sammy or something. Come on.
Well, you missed the Sammy Hagar talk. It's funny. Nobody really commented. I was telling Randy. I said. Last week when you guys were watching, I was like, oh my God, I want to go on there right now because I wanted to get into the convo on that because it's just so freaking annoying to me. Just like I've got such a hard time with that. I'm having a hard time with him right now. I mean, it's just leave it alone. Leave the Alex Van Halen stuff alone. Let everybody go do their own thing and leave it alone. Just leave it alone, man.
Yeah.
It seems like every day Blabbermouth saying something about Hagar said he's finally done with Alex. Say, bro,
Alex has been done with you for a long time.
He's been done for a long time.
Yeah,
hey, but hey, this goes to show. This is my opinion. That goes to show, you know why Alex is done with Ed or with Sammy. You know why. They never forgave him for that book.
Right.
The book is what did it. And I think it's a hard, because have you guys read that book?
Yeah.
No.
That entire chapter is brutal about Ed. It's brutal, and I think that, those guys are really tight as brothers. And I think that you don't do that. They're in the mentality of you don't do that to people that you care about.
Ed was a much more forgiving person than Alex is. I think Alex is very much kind of like that hard up mafioso style, like you aired the dirty laundry.
Yes.
So.
Yep. I think that's why that's my opinion. I think that's where that's coming from. But it's funny how Sammy never says, they're probably still mad at me about the book. It's the book, dude. I mean, you shouldn't have said that stuff. And do we really know if Sammy and Ed made up? Do we really know?
Yeah.
And it's just, maybe they really didn't make up. And, trust me, I've gone down that rabbit hole with myself. When you guys were talking about it last week, I was like, God, please let me on, because I was telling Randy when they went into Mine All Mine, I got excited.
And then
the keyboard started, and then Joe came in, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Oh,
never mind.
I just had to get off.
Yeah.
40. What's out of your outstanding guitar collection? What's your favorite guitar you own? I don't. I've thought about that. Like, if I went down to like one or two guitars, which ones would I keep? It would probably be my M2 guitar, which is back there. I'm not getting it right now, but it's the one I gigged with for years. I just couldn't get rid of that guitar. The older we get, we chase that nostalgia.
Yep.
I had that story. I had that conversation with my kid last time I was out in California. Started talking about nostalgia, and he goes, "Yeah, Dad. Well, that's what nostalgia is. You're chasing something that doesn't exist anymore." And I'm like, "Oh God, man. I mean, like, I'm getting freaking old, But like, if I had to pick a guitar, that would be it. That would be."
And to that point, I think that is indicative of what Sammy is doing. He's chasing that nostalgia of when he was in Van Halen. It's gone. It's
gone.
Enjoy the music for what it was. It's cool that he's coming out and he's doing the thing, and new listeners are getting exposed to it. But I don't understand why they continue to do the dirty laundry between all of them.
Well, you brought up, you don't know if maybe Ed and Sam didn't really make up. They did. Wolfgang confirmed that.
He did? I did. I never saw that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he confirmed that in several comments on different Instagram posts and stuff, because
I didn't see
That's
that.
right,
Okay.
because they were really talking about the kitchen sink.
Oh, the kitchen
tour.
sink. That's right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
and George Lopez, because George Lopez is who gave Sammy Eddie's number. And George Lopez George Lopez and Eddie were tight.
Yep.
And but yeah, George Lopez has said that him and Sammy were on phone call basis talking to each other that last year Ed was alive. And then I think Sammy said it was like July or August of 2020. He said the text started getting shorter and longer gaps. In between them and all
That's
stuff.
right. Yeah. He said that he was enjoying the conversations. They were starting to tailor off.
Yep.
I remember that.
Well,
I remember that him saying that now.
Because I think a lot of us don't realize how bad off Ed was for the
Right.
end there.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was it's funny about that whole thing, because Al said, when you talk to Al, he said I couldn't even touch my brother during COVID.
Yep.
He said that he was behind a window and stuff. He's probably at his house. And there's an interesting read, because if you read Valerie Bertinelli's book, see, you've always got to take everything with a grain of salt. But I was telling my buddy this. I think I may have talked about it before, but if you read Valerie Bertinelli's book, when Ed died, she said that they sat in the room for a while with Ed's body and had like a celebration, and that Janie had left the room, and that her, Wolfgang, and Ed and Al stayed. But then Al came on that interview with the guy from CNN, and he said it was really weird after Ed passed because they whisked his body right out of the room immediately because it was COVID. So there's probably a lot of hearsay there and a lot of stuff, but you never really know, and we're probably never really gonna know. Yeah. But the whole Sammy Hagar thing with Al, I just wish it would just go away, because I truly believe the reason why Al doesn't want anything to do with Sammy is because of that book.
Yeah,
and it would be completely different. It would be completely different if Ed was alive. I think Ed would bridge that gap. Like, come on,
with Al, you mean? Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe. Basically, like, dude, we hashed it out. We're good. Yeah. Let it go.
But Al has been really quiet about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just Sammy that's just fueling it. And
yeah,
Mike, like you, I'm over it. It's just like, I'm gonna enjoy the music from what it was.
Yep.
And
do you really want to listen to another guitar player play Ed?
No. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let's see here. Let's see here. Metal Cop says his green meanie is still available. If anybody's looking for a cool green meanie, hit up Metal Cop. That's a good one. I need another guitar, like I need a hole in the head. But
right.
But yeah, if you're looking for a green meanie, that's a good build.
That's some Jimmy Biter shit. After getting a couple lowball offers, he raised the price. That's some shit Jimmy would do.
Yep. Well, that's what you got to do on Reverb. You raise the price and then it'll sell.
Do you have the original pickups?
Yeah. Take it from somebody who's in the business of cars and stuff. Hey, you could never go back up.
Yep.
So start as high as you can, because you're surely going to go down, but you can't go back up. So,
right.
And if you're offended by that number, my apologies. But again, I can't go back up.
Well, there was a guy that I was watching on YouTube the other day, and he was talking about he was trying to sell a Dodge Viper, and he had it like at 25 grand, and the thing was worth 30 plus is what he paid for it. And nobody was biting on it. So he raised the price back up to like 38, and then he got an offer for like 30. So sometimes you can go back up.
There's a guy that does our spray and bed liners at the old Ford store I used to work at. This is hilarious. So trucks would come in and we would put plastic bed liners in them, and they would tear them out to put the spray-ins in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what the heck's his name? Forgot what his name was, but he's from South Africa, and he was a big game hunter. And he would come in and talk to us, and he goes, "Hey, Mike, you want to hear something funny?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." He said, I kept putting the bed liners out on the corner of the store and saying bed liners free, and nobody would take them. But as soon as he put a jar out there and it said bed liners 50 cents, the jar never got filled, but the bed liners disappeared.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Crazy.
I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, it makes sense, man.
The psychology of the human mind.
Right.
It's weird.
Walla cries in the chat. Reverb from Japan hurts. I don't know what that means.
I do, because he doesn't know enough about guitars to know better. So the guitars he picks out are like obscure, weirdo, lower end stuff. So he was looking at one of those like it's one of the Charvel Tellys that they made in Japan in the early 90s.
You know what guitar would be perfect for Walla Cries? Is the Squier Hello Kitty guitar.
Oh, you guys were talking about that last night. Isn't there one at Guitar Center or something?
Yeah, I went and played one, and I was really, really surprised by it.
How much was it?
I think it was $530 or something like that.
Some of those are really expensive now. You see how like there's like a certain one that's really expensive. Like, what the hell, man? I missed the bus on that one.
Well, I mean, that's kind of your going price for Squires now is $500, $499.
That's crazy. Metal Cop says 19 Floyd Roses hoarded. I do have 19, and they're made in Germany's. So, but I got a good heads up when they were starting to have problems. You know, my buddy told me, "Hey man, start buying Floyd's because pretty soon they're going to be 300, 350." And that's back when they were 225. You know, so now we're starting to see that. It's crazy. Hey, look at that. Howdy Ryan.
What's up?
Coli.
E. coli.
Awesome. OU812 sounds great. I think everybody. Yeah, I think we're behind in the chat. If we could do this every Thursday, would be cool. Well, I'm free on Thursday evenings.
There you go.
Most of the time. Amen. I like nostalgic. Hey man, I mean, like my kid is the wise one. We're having conversations. I'll go into explanation of something, and he'll be like, "Dad, that's blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, and he punched me with that the other day. And I go, "Bub, I mean, like, oh, I go back to my old house in Detroit, and I stand in front of it thinking that I'm going to be able to go into it." And he goes, "Dad, that's nostalgia. That's it doesn't exist anymore, you know." And that's the stuff that we're still chasing. Why do I have all these guitars? Because when I look at my 5150 guitar, I think about Live Out of Net. You know, I don't think about picking that guitar up and playing it. I look at it and I go, "Oh my God, Live Out of Net, 86." You know, going, "Oh my God."
Speaking of 5150 guitars,
What's that?
that's the JB Antiquity with the rough cast magnet
Oh, that's cool.
that I was peer pressured by Randy into purchasing.
He wasn't peer pressured. He heard the mod on my Jackson. He was like, "Wow." So we're going to do that.
Yep. I'm going to throw that in the 5150.
I think what I'm going to do is just send Randy the money and then have him order me that George Lynch pickup that you did with the black screws. Because you know what to say, dude. Like, I'm going to go, like, I went to go in there the other day and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell to say. Like, I couldn't find, and I go, I bet you have to explain it to him in the notes, right?
Hold on. Let me pull the order form up. And I actually think it's on there.
If it's on there, just send it to me, and then I can use your I can use your words, and then it won't get messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because
I had somebody else ask me about that the other day.
I backed out on that, man. I was like, I'm out on that. Stu Petty says COVID rules screwed us all, buddy. COVID was freaking crazy. And now there's a new COVID strain I saw on I'm not sure if that's true, but they say there's a new strain coming out.
Yeah.
That's my boy. I'm not one to talk as I play my game console from 2002. That is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm. I still fire up old 1990-something Quake from time to time.
I was digging through some stuff the other day, and I found some cassette tapes. Rat, Invasion of Your Privacy, I have on cassette.
Yeah, it's on there. On the drop-down menu for pole pieces, it's the second selection. Slotted screws / Allen screws, a la Screaming Demon.
Oh, okay.
It's on there.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go back in there and I'm gonna order that pickup because I'm gonna do a rough cast Alnico 5, and I'm gonna do probably a zebra, a reverse zebra with those Allen screws, the black Allen screws.
That way the Allen screws are on the cream bobbin.
On the cream, I think that'll look cool.
Yeah. So what you do, you fill out all the stuff on there, which the build your own humbucker form is apparently hard as shit to find on their website for some reason, but you would select that Screaming Demon thing if you want a logo or not, and then it says like what body and neck wood. I didn't even fill that out. When it says describe the tone you want, I put in there, I said I want a JB with an Alnico 8 magnet and then the Screaming Demon style screws and poles.
Oh, you went Alnico 8 in yours?
Yeah, mine's got an Alnico 8
because of the arcane.
Yeah, I've been really kind of like digging on Alnico 8s and what they sound like. Actually, my Henrik, I swapped the pickup in it 2 weeks ago. I put the Duncan Alternative 8 in it, and it sounds really good. It's very JB-ish, but it shifts that high mid honk down, so it's just like really mid punchy, and it tightens the low end. The Alnico 8 just tightens that big low end up a little bit, but you get the high end of like an A2. but all the mid-range punch of an A5. It's pretty interesting. And they're super loud.
Well, for $160, I'm going to go with what I know. It's going to be a rough cast Alnico 5.
Yeah, so in the notes, you just put in there you want a JB with the screaming demon style thing, and then specify in the note you want a rough cast Alnico 5 magnet.
What if you just answered that question? What type of sound do you want? You just said badass.
I don't know. Who knows what they would give you?
Yeah. I want a badass sound. Thanks. It's open to interpretation.
You hear how loud this guitar is?
It's loud.
Right. I want the opening chord to Drop Dead Legs off of 1984.
He's not tuned for that.
I'm talking about when you're filling out for the pickup. What sound do you want?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, oh shit. Yeah.
Of course, I think there's a lot more in the equation than just to pick up on that sound.
Yeah, you kind of need his you need the 58V and his hands.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Marshall.
God, how much is that guitar worth?
Ed sold that thing in the 90s.
He did? I thought he still had it. Oh God, he lost his ass.
Yeah, he sold that V in the 90s, and there's an article about it on I think it was Van Halen News Desk years ago when he sold it. And
oh my God.
So the guy he bought that V from,
I didn't know that.
I guess is dead, and the guy's son popped up when he found out that Eddie had sold it and was like all pissed off that Ed sold it to somebody else. And he's like basically said that Ed swindled his dad out of that guitar anyway or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
What'd he do? Get a couple bags of cocaine and
maybe.
What's I don't know if you guys talked about it already. What projects you got going on, Mike?
But I got nothing. I was telling Randy what's the last thing I did?
Was it the pickups in the Les Paul?
The pickups was a Les Paul. I was telling the chat the other day, I was waiting for the garage door guy to come because by the way, a garage door tune up for $100 turned into $1,500. But I'll just skip that. But I was out on my guitar bench and I was like, I'm gonna put a zebra in this pickup in this guitar, and I put it in there. And then I was sitting at work today, like having second thoughts, and I put it in the chat. I did a poll on it, and they're still at 50% zebra. What do you think, dude?
Oh, I voted zebra.
Yeah, Randy voted zebra too. So I think I'm just gonna leave it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna leave it. It looks cool. So.
For whatever reason, I've always kind of leaned towards the zebra pickups.
Yeah, something kind of throws it off or something, right? I don't know. It's cool. This thing is like cracked really bad. I got this off of Uplander. Is it Uplander guitars? Yeah. Look at the cracks on this body. I'm not sure if you can see it. You see the cracks around the bridge? You see how it's cracked?
Is it actual cracked in the body or just kind of checking in
it's cracked on? No, it's cracked on this side. Like, I don't know what somebody did to this guitar, but I had to glue it. Like the pieces came with the body, and I glued it back in. And
see it.
You see it now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those were the years that were bad about the paint fucking bubbling and cracking on those anyway. What was that, like 08, 10, something like that?
Yeah, but I mean, this feels like.
Is that a USA or Japan?
This is I think it's Japan.
What's the serial number start with a JC?
But that's a USA neck. I put a USA neck on this.
Oh, so you bought parts. I think I saw that body on their Reverb page.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a project, but I did this, and then I got really nothing, man. I got nothing right now. I just like, I mean,
you have any T-shaped guitars with Floyds on them?
No, I do not. No, I don't have a Telly. I had a Sir Classic T that I built when I was there, and it was a whitewash, the whitewash Classic Ts, and I sold that game. I sold all of my Sirs. I had 3 Sirs, and they were awesome. And I was like, and then my friends kept coming over going, hey, I'll buy that. And I was like, okay, I'll just build another one. And then one day I just wasn't there anymore. I just, I had moved, and I was like, okay, that's it. That's it. And then now I've got the opportunity to go after SIRs, and I just don't. If you put a SIR, I mean, it comes down to what you want. And if you had a SIR and a Charvel sitting there, I go with the Charvel. The Charvels just always were my thing, over a SIR, And I was afraid to play my SIRs.
I don't know nothing about
they're
Charvels.
so expensive, and you're like,
Well, obviously, with you working at SIR and having a lot of hands-on, do you find the same thing that most of, like we've talked about, that they're like perfection of builds, but for me, I've never found one that just has any personality to it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I think that would the right word to be sterile?
Yes. Yeah, they're all sterile.
Sterile. I think that the only guitar that I mean, like when I was working there, of course I had a bunch of guitars coming across my bench. So I play one, I'd be like, oh God, this one plays really good, and then like, it'd be like, you go through them, but you have to understand that SIR, my boss told me when I was there one day, he goes, Mike, you have to understand something. The people that we're building guitars for, some of them are people that are going to play the guitar, but a lot of them are lawyers that are just going to hang it on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And then, but I think sterile is a good word just because, but sterile for you and I think alike on guitars. I think like me, you and Randy kind of think alike on guitars.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys that don't think like us, and they would say that a Charvel's sterile.
Right. See, I think all of us, we want to hit the G chord and just feel the vibrations.
That's not sterile, bro.
Yeah, we want to feel the vibrations of the guitar just, just going crazy.
Yeah.
When we're playing.
The only guitar that I the only guitar that was consistently awesome for me personally were the Guthries. Before Guthrie left, SIR. There was a Guthrie Relic, like a burst, like a tobacco burst relic. God, every one of those guitars played amazing, and they were not the sterile.
Right.
They were not the stuffy and sterile. They're for me, SIRs were like something to look at and go, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
A like Charvel, I pick it up, I'm like, oh God, this thing plays badass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I find the same thing with PRS guitars too.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They got gorgeous quilt tops. It's just they do nothing for me when I play them.
Yeah, I think it's opinion, and I will certainly say that they're beautiful guitars. I think that they're a niche. They're first. People. There's certain people that really like that, and there's certain people that dig on them and stuff. That was just not my thing. I was more after the Relic over the cool Charvel, the Jakey Lee, like nobody, and oddly enough, in that entire building, there was only like two guys that listened to like 80s stuff that were like hardcore like me, Everybody else was like Scott Henderson, like they were very like Ian Thornley. They were all very, it was a very different taste in music. Not that Ian Thornley's bad or anything, but I mean, like, I got all excited because, when they assigned me Doug Aldrich the day that they were doing NAMM show. But my boss knew that I'd be the best with Doug Aldrich because I thought Doug Aldrich I knew who he was, and I knew that he was a badass. You know what I'm saying? You go up to some of the other builders, they're like, who's Doug Aldrich? It's like, how can you not know who Doug Aldrich is? It's just crazy shit. So, but I do agree with you. A sterile. I think sterile is a good, sterile and stuffy and sterile, I think.
But consistent.
Oh, hey man, the QC, I was out going through my box the other day, and we had three builders, me, Jay Mador, and Kenny Jin. We were on the line. And every Tuesday, I think it was, we had a QC meeting. They and as soon as we did our final builds, they went to the QC booth, and the QC guy, what was his name? He would start going through stuff, and they had a Excel spreadsheet. Nut cut too short, nut cut too high, sitars, blah blah blah. Everything was listed. And then they would count one. And then you would go into these QC booths and they would say, Mike, you had 5 sitars last week. You had blah, 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 blah. And they would go down this. It was crazy. And I remember I would bring those home because I just had them. And, but they're fun to go back and look at them now because it shows the quality control on those guitars. And I'm sure they haven't changed anything. Yeah. I'm sure they're just as picky with regards to, because John's thing always was when that guitar ships and comes out of the case, it's ready for the stage. That was John Sir's thing. You know, like it comes out, it's ready to go. And honestly, they were.
Yep.
They were. And they probably still are. I haven't been there since 2015 I left, but you know, like when I had Chris on, Chris, who was the amp manager. There was a guitar manager and an amp side manager. Chris was the amp side manager, but Chris's bench was closest to my bench. So we would bullshit all the time. And he was a Van Halen guy. And we would talk all the time about stuff. And he told me, he said, Mike, it's really weird because I got nostalgic with him, you know, in the green room when he came on my show. And I go, man, you know, I miss it. And, you know, there's a great bunch of guys and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, Mike, it changed after you left. So you left at a good time because it got different. He said, not better, not worse, different.
Just different. Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know, maybe everything happened for a reason. Maybe I left at a good time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, surely no regrets with regards to that. Oh my God, are we like way behind in the chat? We're just sitting here bullshitting like we're sitting together at freaking, we're just sitting here bullshitting. Let's see here. I've invested in some tube amps and some 2 412s before Eddie passed. That's cool. Yeah, 412s. I still like 412s. I like 412s. 40, do you have a Koa guitar? I do not. But if I was to get a Koa guitar, which one would it be? I'd get a Red Beach. EMG's Red
like
Beach.
Those Pal Faro necks.
Yeah, see, I'm not a Pal Faro fan either. I never have been. I got one of those Charvels with a Pal Faro neck. I don't like it.
Yeah, Music Zoo did a run of Koa San Dimas Charvels a few years back.
Yep, a while ago.
I'd like to find one of those.
Yeah, yep. I remember those. They were natural. They weren't finished, right?
Yeah, they were like oil finish.
Yeah, those are cool, man.
Got a Koa acoustic. It's a Taylor.
Koa, it's a great tone wood.
It's just all around perfect. You just got the right EQ on it.
40, I like the color of this red one. Yeah, I mean, you know, red. I'm not really a red guitar guy, but this one's good. I have went through 8 Sirs, and this is interesting, and the only ones I have left are the original run of the modern set. And I remember those. What color? Blue. It was blue, green, white, and the alt T. Everything else played incredible, but had no soul. Yeah, I mean, I like taking John's pickups and putting them into Charvels because I think John's pickups are great. I just never gravitated. One of my funnest days was when I first started working there and Mike rolled over a whole thing of cases because we had transfer cases and they were like guitar cases without Tolex on them. They were just wood. So everything, when they came out, they started getting assembled. They went into a transfer case. Right. And, I remember when I first started there, he goes, okay, I'm going to, today you're doing nuts, because he was just trying me on to see what I was going to be best at, you know? And he said, today you're going to be cutting nuts. And, he goes, you got to do 100 of them. And I go, okay. So, you know, I'm just sitting there slotting nuts and I was looking at the headstock and I go, hey, wait a minute. This is a Kramer headstock. And you could have heard tools drop. It was like a record player, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, hold on a second. This is a Kramer beak headstock. And I never said that again because I got some dirty looks when I said that. It was actually pretty funny.
I've wondered that as well because it looks very, very similar. There's got to be some difference in it.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's for John to have that, that's his headstock. So
Well, in fact, I have my fair warning Kramer right here.
yeah,
And it's got
yeah,
the beak headstock.
yeah. I mean, look at the Sir. Very, 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 very similar. Very
Similar, but yeah, I can tell the difference just looking at that. I think what they did is these were all Fender headstocks, right? And then they just came in and it was like,
Yep.
just cut the ball off of it,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Darren says he'd love a performance better, buddy. You better act quick because I don't know if Kenny is Kenny should be retiring soon, and then I'm sure they'll still stick around, but I know that Kenny isn't doing the snakeskins anymore. Those are gone. Let's see. Modern satin was the lightweight. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, satin black. I remember satin black. So I am thinking of Frost series, the Frost series. Yep, the Frost. I was there for that. I was there for the first Bengal, the orange and black that came with the pedal and the drips. I was there for those. I was there for the Frost. I was there for the Zebras guitars. I was there for the Josie guitars. The if you don't know what the Josie guitar is, look up the Steve Stevens Josie. That's his wife that's on the front of the guitar. I was there for those. Those are cool. Yeah, so I got to do some cool stuff when I was there. Let's see. Zach Thong says, no, nothing's wrong. What's that? You guys are three friends talking about the thing you love, and that's guitars. That's correct. We're just sitting here bullshitting about nonsense.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I probably haven't played this guitar in about 6 to 8 months, and
is it in tune?
It's damn near in tune. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? Do you keep that? Do you keep your room humidified, or is it just natural?
No, it stays pretty well humid. I have a humidifier on my furnace, so through the winter, I keep about 45% throughout the whole house.
Mm-hmm. I'm rocking 40% right now in here, and I have to do it year round because Arizona just way too dry.
Yeah.
Just way too dry.
In the summertime, my system goes into super dehumidify mode, and it can keep right around 50%.
So when it's the relative humidity outside's 90%,
Yeah, 50% is about the best you're going to do in the summer.
Right.
That's awesome.
You walk outside, you're just breathing water.
Zach says that's a cool guitar, Ryan. That is a cool guitar.
Appreciate it, Zach.
LOL, I have to dehumidify to 65% in the tropics.
You know how I mentioned earlier that, everything is for sale for the right price?
Yeah. That is not, or that is?
Even this one would be. If somebody offered me the right amount for it, it'd probably go. So, can't keep them all forever, right? I mean, I'm just custodians of them right now.
It's going to be a joyous day when the day comes and I start to offload some of this stuff because I'll probably realize that it makes me really happy to rid some of the clutter.
Mm-hmm.
But
then
you're
going to replace them. You just replace them.
So I forgot who I got it from, but usually my stuff about guitar collecting, I usually rip it off of somebody. But somebody had said once, if I go to sell something, where am I going to get another?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I always think about before I think about, like I just had somebody say me the other day, hey, I'd like to buy your French guitar or your snakeskin guitar, your Charvel snakeskin DeMartini. And the answer is immediately no, because where am I going to get another one for what I paid for them when I bought them? Mm-hmm. I can't.
I'd like to buy your EVH custom.
I know.
your Les Paul
I
style.
thought about that. I've thought about that. Hey, there was a black one. The guy still got it, and right by guy lives right by Norm's Rare Guitars. He's got a black one for sale. It's on Facebook Marketplace, and he wants $4,000 for it.
Oh,
Yep, and it's mint. I was gonna buy it. I texted Randy, and I go, "Hey Randy, should I?" And he goes, "No."
well, there was one that I had found, but it was over Myrtle Beach, which is about a 5-hour drive, I guess, from here, and it was like $3,500 the guy wanted for it.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And I hemmed and hawed, and then when I was going to go reach out to him about it, it was gone.
Yeah,
so it sold.
That's a good price. 3,500 is good for that guitar. I think $4,000's good. I just don't. I got one. You know, like we were talking about the Music Man Van Halen's the other day. I got one, and I don't even play that one. It just sits in the case. I just have it. It's a conversation piece.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when your friend comes over and you got an old bottle of scotch or something. Hey, look what I got. You know.
Yep.
You're not going to open it and drink it.
It'd be cool to have one, but you know, I just can't see spending that kind of money now for what they're going for.
Yeah, I agree. Did you buy one, Randy? You gonna buy one?
No, I've owned one. I sold it. I hate the neck on those
He
things.
doesn't like the broomstick handles or the neck.
I hate
They are tiny.
the neck. I
Yeah, they're
hate
tiny,
the neck
man.
on that thing. I've heard my entire life, oh, those guitars had the best neck that EVH ever used. And then I finally got one, 5 years or so ago. And it's like, I wanted to love it and I just couldn't.
You do it.
You know,
But I did double my money on it when I sold it.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
It had been a while since I played one, and I mentioned I went and played that purple one, the Axis that they had at the Guitar Center here, and I did find that I was cramped up a little bit. You got to get used to it, but
Yep.
I was kind of stumbling over the thinness of that neck.
It's very
very narrow.
cramped.
The neck that is on this guitar is very, very similar to that. It feels very reminiscent of it. I don't know if they did that on purpose when they did these re-release.
Dane's here.
What's up, Dane?
What up, Dane? Dane's a big rock star now. I went out and hung out with him a couple weeks ago, and we BS'd, and he's got all kinds of stuff going on.
Nice.
Gigs out in LA and opening up for cool bands, and yeah, he's got all kinds of cool shit going on. If you don't know, check out Zib's guitar in Mesa, Arizona. He's always got cool shit.
Did you tell James that that's not a Mean Street guitar?
What?
He said the Mean Street looks beautiful. Or he means a fair warning artwork, or did you think it was done by Mean Street?
No, it was
Guitars?
not done by Mean Street. No. But I think he just means
The fair warning.
Yeah.
the fair warning artwork.
So that was the RCA.
Well, the guitar was an actual Kramer USA Pacer reissue, Pacer
Right.
Imperial reissue from 2009, I think. So this was made in the Gibson factory, USA, as far as I know. But then I had it converted. You can kind of see right here, if you look close, where there was a volume knob and a tone knob here that I took out and just went with one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jeff Rich did the artwork on this.
That's cool.
Actually, we did a prototype first. We did I think it was a Kramer Focus that I purchased, and I just wanted to see what it looked like, and I bought a neck from I can't remember, Kyle, I think is his name. Who am I thinking of, Randy? His name was Kyle Dive Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He built my 5150 and my Frankenstein. That guy's great.
Yeah, I got a bird's eye neck from him and put it all together. And it looked, obviously it looks like this. So it looks awesome, but the body and the neck together, sometimes just don't jive.
Yeah.
So I ended up selling that one. But that guitar was featured on Van Halen News Desk.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you go back and you look, fair warning guitar, Van Halen News Desk, you'll see the first one that was done.
Kyle Finch.
There you
Kyle
go.
Finch. That's him. Yep.
There you go.
I don't know if he still does stuff.
He does. He's building guns now. He does guns, but he will do guitar stuff. So and he's done some really good work. So he's some good stuff for me. So he's awesome.
I know he was partnered up there for a minute with the guy that runs period correct guitar parts for all the old school EVH parts. I think they ended up splitting.
They're kind of limited on what they have right now. I went on there recently looking for some pickups and other stuff, and they're kind of limited. Stuff's getting harder to find, I guess.
Yeah, I think all that stuff's kind of tough right now. Especially that Floyd Rose stuff is tough for people, and it just. McKnight was talking about that the other day. Somebody was complaining about the Floyd Rose stuff. He goes, you have to understand that they have, the manufacturers come first. We get the residual. They've got contracts with manufacturers and they have to fulfill.
Yep.
So we get the residual.
Yep.
So that's the way it goes.
Well, whoever Floyd is using for their black coating on their USA trims is the same place Schaller's using, because Schaller and Floyd both got all their black parts back in stock the same day.
Yeah, Schaller had a hard time there for a little while. That's one of the big reasons Floyd left. That's why they had some. That's what I was told by a very good source, that they were having problems with black, and that's why they kind of parted ways, because they felt that they could do better. So maybe Schaller went to somebody else too.
They had to have. But yeah, I saw that. I got an email that Schaller had the black Lockmeisters and the black regular Schaller trims back in stock. And the same day I got the email from Schaller, I got on Facebook, and Floyd Rose had a big post up saying black now in stock. I'm like, oh, they're using the same place for their black coating.
Makes sense.
Is that your speculation, or do you know to be true?
I mean, that's my speculation, given the timing of both of them having black parts out of stock and then both of them getting them back in stock within 24 hours of each other.
Right.
Interesting. All right, dudes. My girl's home, and I'm gonna go say hi to her for a few minutes, and then we're probably gonna go to bed. So I know it's super late for you guys for sure. What time is it there?
11:20.
Oh my God, I would have been in bed hours ago. All right, dudes. Hey, Ryan, thanks for jumping on, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me jump in.
Randy, thanks, buddy, as always. And then, hey, maybe we should all chat and see if maybe we should start doing something.
Well, we stopped doing our show on Thursdays, so Thursday nights are wide open. So.
That might be kind of fun. Yeah. We can kick it around.
Cool.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us tonight, and it was a pleasure having you guys. Thanks for jumping on with me, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Adios, guys. I'll see you later.
Later.
See ya.